What's going on, everyone? It's Luke here again from Mr. FBA UK, bringing you another Amazon on arbitrage video. Now today it's going to be something a little different than what I'm used to doing. Usually it'll be on one dedicated topic and I'll just go on as much detail as I can and, try to really hammer something down. This is completely the opposite. What I've actually done is I've created a really simple and quick beginner's guide to online arbitrage for 2019. Now, the one thing I haven't included in this is prep centers, because it's not like you can just go to, one prep center. You could do self-prep, you could split it, you could do, so where there's not a definitive sort of choice or a definitive sort of understanding on where to go for that. It's just there's many different companies that offer prep for if you want to outsource it, or if you want to do it at home yourself, then save some money and do it that way. And this is a beginner's guide from my perspective and what I think are the minimum requirements to get started with Amazon with online arbitrage. And yes, you can do it on less, but I'd say the entry level are everything that I'm going to cover in this beginner's guide. Now, it won't go into some really in-depth analysis of what each of the softwares do in that. That is going to be in all the dedicated videos that I've done in the past. I've most probably discussed every single aspect that I'm going to be discussing in here before in a dedicated video that I probably spent an hour going into it. So when you read this and when I'm talking over it now, it's not going to be, in depth. It's just going to be very simple, quick, and it shouldn't take long to go through. So I've started by starting with free tools. This is the things that I use within my Amazon business. Now, there's lots of variations of things. I can only go by what I know and what I've used and how I view it. So you may think, oh, I don't use that, I use that. Why have I not talked about it? Well, maybe I've never used it, or maybe I just don't feel like it's good enough for me to be mentioning it in this. So let's go over it. So you've got free tools. Now, everyone knows the number one free tool to use is Keeper. Without Keeper, back in the day, you probably could have never have really made some decent money on Amazon. You could only have really done, Keeper gives you so much information. Like, you could spend hours and hours and hours going over like videos on Keeper, which, I probably have done it, but I probably can go ahead and show you all the ways that Keeper helps you analyze different aspects of your Amazon business, all from sourcing to, is it a restricted product? Can you sell it? Will there be problems? What is the average price? What price will it probably sell at? Then going over the correlations of like buyers to the price, how it has a direct correlation between each other. There's so much you go into, and it's an essential piece of information that you would need when starting Amazon. And yes, it is complicated, but after a little bit of practice, a little bit of sort of learning on the subject, and there's tons on YouTube, then this would be a vital tool for you to use on your Amazon business. And you can see I basically touch on what it is, give a little picture of how it looks, and just describe it. And I don't go into too much detail, just nice and simple. And I basically try to give you a little example of what I would use it for, or what it can be used for. And then you can go ahead and download it. And obviously many of you would know what all of these, you could reel them off in your sleep, these things. So for many of you, it's just going to be, maybe a video that you skip. But for anyone that's new or wants to double check that you are utilizing all the possible resources out there, then just give this a quick 15-20 minute watch. I don't think it could be any longer than that. And make sure that everything on this document is something you've at least considered. Now, I have released this document in my Facebook group as a direct, piece that you can just download. So if you want to skip this video, go straight there and just go through it yourself or whatever, then knock yourself out. But obviously, I'll go, how I like to do commentating as I go do this. Or you can see the link in the description below and just download it direct and knock yourself out whenever. So the next one that I've recently started using is the International Keeper chart. So it's basically like a piggyback off the Keeper chart. It's exactly the same, but you can see here, it looks like this. So it is Keeper, as you can see here, that's what Keeper looks like. But when you are analyzing deals, you have to basically go through to each individual market to see the Keeper chart. So when you're in the UK.co.uk website, you only see the UK one. and then you have to sort of filter through, and it does get a little bit faffy and a little bit more time consuming than really you want to be spending on this, because you just want to be glimpsing Keeper, because I can just glimpse this and already know that it's potentially gonna sell in that country. But if it's completely blank or it's got one spike, you already know straight away that you're not gonna look into it further. But it is a bit faffy having to, where you used to have to go back and forth. But now this is completely free again. You just download it. There's a little icon here on the top right where my little cursor is here. You click that and it'll pop up. You just scroll through and it will show you all 5 marketplaces at once. Okay, and now the next one I use is a DS called DS Amazon Quick View. Now if you can see down here, it basically populates some key information that you use on a daily basis. The rank, the ASIN, and then it just tells you how many sellers there are, or if Amazon sell products. And now this is actually quite handy when you're trying to quickly find an ASIN for something, because you will find that there are very similar products. See, these two, they may be different, but let's just say, for example, they're the same. Well, straight away I can go, which one do I want to sell? Well, yes, this one's at 14 and this one's at 12, but the ranking is, an Amazon one. It straight away I'd be like, okay, well, I don't want to sell on that one because Amazon sells, so I would already be diverted my attention to this listing. But if you then have to go in and do Amazon sell it and having a moving around, oh yeah, they do, go back, find the other item. Yeah, it's just if it's free and it speeds up the whole process of your Amazon online business, then crack on. Okay, now we're going to go into paid softwares. Now, these are softwares I use on a daily basis, and there are many more out there, okay? So I'm not going to go on through all the ones that are out there, because I just feel you can't sign up for every piece of software as a beginner, and I don't want to confuse people by, giving you multiple things that do slightly different things, and then you don't know which one to use. I'm just going to tell you what I use, why I use it, and then if you want to go away and look at all the other potential pieces out there on the market, and that's fine. But this is just a quick document, so you can just jump on, have a look, and go from there. Buybot Pro, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows I put essential because you need some sort of deal analysis. You can just use Keeper, you can. You can do it by Keeper because that's what we used to do. But it gives you a lot more information here. Now, one thing that used to always be something that took a long time is, can you sell it? Is it hazmat? You used to have to go and check on your Amazon Sellers app, or add it to your catalog on the display when you sort of create shipment, to see if you can even sell it. So with this, straight away you don't have to faff around. It gives you lots and lots and lots of information. You can see here, and then it gives you a score, ROI, profit. You can select EFN, or if it's a bundle, you can go into settings and add the different VATs. I just got a brief explanation of what some of the sort of features are there. And it costs about £24, £25 a month. So for the cost it delivers a lot of value for the cost. That's how I like to weigh up what I should be subscribing to or not. Does the cost give me the reward in terms of, does it benefit me in maybe time and money? Yeah. Because there's no point having something that if it doesn't really generate any extra value in your business overall. Now, another one that's a paid service, but very, very essential, I call it, is suspension safeguard protection. It is basically just a place you can go, a point of call or reference, a company, whatever you want to call it, where you can go if you if you get issues with your account, such as IP infringements, maybe inauthentic claims against you, maybe you're asked to provide some backup for a product that Amazon request, and instead of getting a bit flustered and nervous and not having a clue how to handle something, maybe they need to do a plan of action. You can go to this service and they will give you step-by-step instructions, basically, and how to proceed with it. Because with Amazon, you'll find that you have to be very careful when replying to them and stuff, and because they count a reply as your sort of plan of action, even though it clearly says, I don't understand, what is this on, what is this about. The system will automatically flag that as a response, and then they will say, this is not a valid plan of action, even though you can clearly see that is not relating to the plan of action. But Amazon just do that You got to be very careful and not just start pinging all these emails off, because you're getting all flustered and you think the world's going to end or whatever, and then you find it just makes the situation worse. And it costs. What does it cost again? I mean, they have these. I haven't actually ever signed up for this bit, but it might be quite interesting to see. 11 free tips on Amazon suspension. It's all anything that's free. It's all worth, isn't it? And here the price is about 24 quid. 20. Well, obviously, if you were VAT registered, you can claim that back. But you can get BuyBot Pro and Safeguard Suspension together at 35 quid. So if you actually look at the prices, 25. You would then be paying another 25, so you'd actually be paying 50-ish, but actually you can just get them together at 15 quid discount pretty much. Links are all here. Basically, if you never don't, if you want to look on the website and read a bit more about what it is or whatever, then go through the links. I've got links for every single one, and just read up if you want to read up. If you don't like it, just ignore it. Next one. Now, this isn't vital, but for anyone that's new, it's where you are not going to be really aware of how to source products easily, because the longer you do it, the more that you ideas that you come up about how you can source products. You can just do the old-fashioned copy and paste. You literally go, you might be a toy sale at Argos and it's 50% off, and you copy and paste every item into Amazon and find the products. The problem is that you're not really going to find much, because either they're already going to be on these deal sheets way faster than how long it takes you to actually find them, because I think how long copy and paste takes, you may not even be able to go through 50 to 100 leads a day, while these, this software is basically a massive team of virtual assistants in the background sourcing for you all day. Now, depending on which package you get between 7 and 17 deals a day. Obviously, the higher package, you'll get more deals. The lower package, you'll get less deals. And the good thing about this is that they do really cool week bonus sheets when there's big sales on. So if Argos have a 3 for 2, you'll get a dedicated spreadsheet all for 3 for 2s, just from Argos. So you'll get that on top, like an extra. And then you don't have to go and find all the ones that you need to buy for 3 for 2. It's just there on a plate. And all these virtual, it's updated daily. You'll see it looks like this basically. And then as another one comes through, you just scroll up or down in a list, and it will just give you all this. And you can straight off the bat, Profit, Keeper, BuyBot Pro will be integrated into this. So actually you won't even have to go onto the listing itself, but then you can just go through and check. And then you could check the Keeper as well and all that. But you can see Keeper is there. But, I like to do both just to make sure. And I obviously go over it, why it's a must for any seller. Because as a new seller, you really need a minimum entry level, I feel. And even if you just get the light package, and you can actually get it cheaper. I've got discount codes here. So instead of actually paying these prices, you actually get it for less. So you get it for 79 quid or 140 or 199. So you actually don't pay the full price there anyway. Because obviously, if you start going up to this one, it's a bit pricey as a new person. I would say, if you're not needing to make loads of money straight away, and you're looking to slowly build, because I see it as building over a year. A lot of these leads you can go back to. You can go back to later. You can save. Obviously, you save them in a log, a purchase log, spreadsheet or something, and you can go back. And these, so even though you're paying this, you might be able to use a lot of your leads later. And obviously, without having this in the beginning, you would never have had those leads. Yeah. And with all the bonus sheets and everything added on in between, it definitely is a great piece of software. Very easy to use. This is beginner friendly. Look how easy it is. Product. You can click through the links here. Look at Keeper quickly. BuyBot Pro will be here soon. You can go here, and then obviously, if it's a bit too expensive, you can just use the discount code links there. Now, a repricer for me is important too. Now, the reason it's important is because you can use the free Amazon one, but the problem with that is when you let's say you set your minimum price to $9.99, it's currently at $13.99, but you say, okay, I bought it for £5. My lowest price I'm willing to sell it as $9.99. So you set minimum $9.99, you set your maximum, let's say $14.99. So over the weeks, as Amazon's repricing that product for you, it's never going to bring that price below the $9.99 because you told it to. Don't go below 99. So it will basically move within that range. It will move from, say, the $13.99 at the moment. It might go down to $12.99 tomorrow because someone else drops their price, you see. Or it might go down to $9.99 tomorrow, but it's never going to go below. But the problem is it doesn't refresh and go up again. Well, great thing about the repricer, you can set your minimum, your maximum, meaning I want it to go up to $14.99, and every night it refreshes and it will actually go back up to the $14.99 every day. And the good thing about that is that if everybody else follows that same principle on a product and everybody goes back up, what happens tomorrow? The product that you are selling, everybody has now risen their product price. Yes, it may drop back to $9.99 over the day, but if you pick up a sale in the morning at say 9 o'clock, the product price may still be $13.99 or $14.99, whatever, and it will keep dropping probably because it starts competing against the other sellers over the day. But it will just go back and forth like a yo-yo. And if you can capture those sales, I've had products sell for £8-9 more because I picked up a sale early in the morning. Like a hairdryer, so it sells, my lowest is $39.99, my top is $49.99. I'll set it for like $47.99 because someone buys it in the morning and the price hasn't been competitive enough to drop it back down to that lower value to then recycle tomorrow, and so on and so on and so on. And it's not even expensive software. It is a little bit confusing. It's about £20 and you get 14-day free trial. Where these, it does all add up, but it provides so much more value than £20. If I just get a couple of items, sell for higher over that month, I basically pay for it for free. And it does give you some really cool analytical information, like what you've sold over the month, how much in revenue it's generated, how many units it's sold. It just gives you a lot of cool information that you can use actually for future months and for future decision making. The next one I've recently started using, which I really like, is SELLERBOARD. It's something that I always wanted, something after Amazon sales and analytics, basically after sales care, I guess you could call it. So how much profit am I making against what item? Are my products even making profit? Like, you can go through all of that manually, but when you're doing hundreds and thousands of products a month, you actually start to waste a lot of time just checking bits and bobs, and you end up feeling like you don't really do much because all you're doing is checking. Is that yes, no? And it does take time, and when you get really high sales across different marketplaces, what's the euro to your GBP? Is it making, and it basically will just summarize. It will give you day-to-day information on what you've sold, how much profit you've made, how many units. It even does stuff like when you should reorder or when you should restock. So it won't tell you when you're out of stock. It will say you should reorder now. If you say it's going to take 7 days to get back in, it will take that into consideration, and you can actually make the purchases earlier so that you don't run out of stock and you actually get stock back in before the last unit sells out of the current batch. And that will mean that you're making more sales every month, and that means more sales every year, and so on and so on and so on. And it's all pushing you in the right direction. And again, this is only £15 a month, and you can get 2 months free through that link. I think if you just go through the normal way, you only get 14 days or a month. So you make sure you use that link for the 2 months, because I actually had to sign up and just get a month, and now I'm paying. But yeah, they give me that for extra month, I think. And then I've added on bonus tools because, as many of you are aware, your expenses or your costs, you don't really want to be paying that much because you want to be making profit. You don't want to have to pay out all this money before you even start making any money. Well, the great thing about this complete savings is that you can make up to £250 a month, and a lot of people in the online arbitrage game use this and make £250 a month. All you have to really put through is £2,500 a month of stock. It doesn't cover every single last retailer, but it does the good ones. It does like Argos, it does like Homebase, Pets at Home. I mean, like, HMV. All the sort of standard ones that you would expect it to cover. And it's just great because you can basically cover your expenses. So you can cover all of these. You can recover the repricer. You can get the sort of medium. You can get the medium gold package here because it's not as expensive as that. It's $139 plus VAT. You can have the repricer. You can have BuyBot Pro. And you could have suspension safeguard all covered for free if you were obviously making a minimum purchase of making the right amount spend basically through them. And then everything you make is profit from that point. That's what you want. That's my main focus this year, reducing my expenses so I don't have to make loads of money just to cover that before I even start making money for myself. If you get what I mean? So point having like signing up to all these fancy services and everything to then have to do double the amount of sales, which you may not get. It's not a guarantee, is it? So it's very, you know, and the pressures and stuff just reduce. So you want to try to keep that as low as you can, so you're making profit quicker, faster. But the only thing with this is you can't sign up directly. So the best way to do it, I find, is if you buy something through Argos, when you've actually completed the checkout. Now, not when it says you're in cart or anything. When you've paid, and it says complete. This is your, you know, payment received. Thank you for your order or whatever. You scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there should be a banner of some sort, which is sort of part of the page, saying you can claim £16.88 or something cash back from this purchase. You click it, it will take you through to complete savings, and you can sign up. Now, it does cost you 15 quid a month, but even if you weren't getting this back, which you can claim back every month, and I've done it before many times, you just literally submit the receipt for like Argos and they give you 15 quid or something. You also get 250. So even if you were just paying 15 quid a month, you can get 250. And last month in January, I got 400, only because it didn't pay out very fast in December, so it lapsed over. And this month now, I've already started getting cash. It's not been as high because I stopped using them for a bit, because I wanted to make sure that they actually were paying out, which they were. It's just because it was Christmas. I think they were just a bit backlogged. But now I've smashed it on. You know, now I'm going full throttle through them. But it's, you know, you have to use this. And people are like, oh, how can they pay you £250 a month? Well, it doesn't really matter as long as they're giving it to you. Yeah, you're paying 15, but you are getting 250. Now, even if that works for 1 month, you've made, like, you know, it doesn't really matter how it's done. If they're doing it, just let them do it. And if they go bankrupt or bust and they can't do it, well, then you've got what you could from them. And as a beginner, this is a vital, like, to get as much, recoup as much from this to offset the expenses. So basically, you're paying, all those services are free, and then you can just start making. And from your first sale, you're already making profit for you, or profit to put back into stock. And then the only other one is online arbitrage deals, the deal arbitrage. So it's selling your leads back to them. So say that you do find some product leads because you decide to do some manual copy and pasting on the weekend or something, just because you want some extra leads. Well, you can go and source those products yourself, but you can also sell it for £10. Now, if you're just finding a couple of leads a month, you're still making 40 quid or 30 quid, and you're still potentially paying for, I don't know, a repricer, BuyBot Pro. You know, you don't really have to do very many. And of course, you don't have to do this. This is just an optional extra. And, you know, you have to meet some certain criteria, and you do need the BuyBot Pro subscription. But if you're looking for a little extra money, or, you know, you have a virtual assistant there and you find really good product leads, and yeah, you can't buy them, or you want to just sell them anyway, then you can get £10 extra a lead. You can sign up through here, and yeah, I mean, it's just all extra, isn't it? I mean, I sometimes do it and sometimes don't. It just depends on things, yeah. And obviously, if you've not yet signed up or joined, you can go to the YouTube Mr. FBA UK, subscribe, smash the little bell notification for basically instant notifications to you when I upload a video, so that you don't have to check back every single, you know, evening or every couple of days to see what new videos are uploaded. You can just straight away get a notification too. I think it just comes, I don't know, some suggested thing somewhere. Or obviously, if you want more in-depth chat in the Facebook group, go ahead and join here. There's loads of people that are always asking questions, helping out, and all that sort of thing. And it's, you know, it's like an extra, like these two like combined can really like catapult your Amazon business. And any questions you've got, you can just post them in the group, and there's always someone that's getting back to you, helping out, and all that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you had a great time watching this. And if you didn't, then I guess you didn't. Cool. Have a great evening, have a great week, and hopefully you know, anyone that's starting out at doing Amazon, you don't have to spend hours and hours traipsing through all of the things. What do I use? You know, do I use FBA Wizard and stuff like that? You know, if I haven't mentioned it in here, I would say recommend not using it. It doesn't mean that you should, you know, for example, tactical arbitrage, a lot of people use that. I've never really liked it, but that's just me, and I know a lot of people that love it. For me, this is the neatest and more like streamlined sourcing products and ways to do your Amazon business in 2019 over a lot of the manual side of the sourcing softwares. That's why I have not discussed it. Doesn't mean they're not good. Check them out yourself. This is just to help anyone that's looking to get some information fast, new to the group, new to the YouTube, and yeah, just want some help. So anyway, enough rambling from me. Have a great evening, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.